Hello, what's up? Cormando here, and welcome to my WWE Battleground 2016 predictions video. I'm also going to be talking a little bit about the draft as well. I think I maybe could have made a separate video and gave like a draft review. I mean, I am off this week, but I didn't bother. But I'll just talk about it here as well. Um, I've made note of quite a few things to talk about, so we'll talk about that once I've gotten through the matches. But let's get started. First off, we have Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship, triple threat. Now, obviously, Roman Reigns will be returning, and I don't expect him to get a good reaction. I mean, even when he was just mentioned on the draft, when he got drafted to Raw, or whatever, there was lots of boos. I think it'll probably be quite bad on Sunday. Also, when he got suspended, you know, I can take a joke. I can see the funny things. I can see the jokes people are making, the memes or whatever. But I feel like the overall like hatred for him is just like too much. Like when it first announced, and I seen how people were so happy and like calling him a druggie and all this stupid things. I just thought it was like taking it too far, to be honest. I mean, there's a joke and there's having a laugh, and then there's too far, and I think some people were taking it too far. But the build has been alright. I mean, I did like that Rollins report thing, and it said not a good guy, not a bad guy, the suspended guy. I was quite surprised to see that, and also it reminded me of that Kurt Angle, The Rock. It was almost just an exact copy of it, and it was really good. It was really well done. I thought it was really good. Apart from that, you know, it's been alright, Dean and Rollins. But I feel like their matches been kind of overrated, like the one on Raw and then the one on SmackDown. People thought these matches were great, and the crowd were chanting like "Holy shit!" and "This is awesome" at one point. But most of the match was rest holds, and I'm not even joking. Like I'd say 75%, probably more, were rest holds both times, and like, are you guys really that hard to please? Like one little move and then you're going nuts for it? I didn't think they were that great. I thought they were kind of boring, to be honest. But for this, I'm thinking Dean Ambrose will win, but I don't know where they'll go after the draft, whether they'll make a new championship or what'll happen. Maybe they'll leave it for like a month or so after SummerSlam, then introduce another championship. I don't know. I was kind of hoping that SmackDown would be without a title, then they could create a new title for SmackDown. It'd be a good storyline for SmackDown, but who knows. I'm going with Dean Ambrose to win. And I think I've said it many times before, but this would be a great time to go with Reigns being a heel, but I don't doubt that'll happen. They'll probably just go with a Reigns-Rollins feud after this, and they'll try, as ever, to have Roman as the face, and have him say stupid stuff because you're scripting everything he says word for word, but it won't work. But I'll go with Dean Ambrose for the win, and I think it'll be a good match too, which is all I'm looking for, a good match. Next, we have Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, and we talked quite a few minutes there about that match. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. The build to this hasn't really been anything special. It's just they come out, they start punching each other, and that's really been about it for the most part. They've had a couple of tag matches and what have you. Like the tag match there on Raw was good with Cesaro and Jericho. I thought that was a really good match. For WWE standard tag match, I thought that was quite good. You know, there was a lack of rest holds, which is a good thing. It was quite a good match. But apart from that, they haven't really done much to build to this thing. They just like, oh, our careers are never gonna move on if we don't beat each other or if we don't end this, blah blah blah. But that's really been it. There hasn't really been much to it. And I just had to look up because I couldn't remember, but Kevin Owens won the last one at Payback, so I'm guessing Sami Zayn will win here, and then maybe a final match at SummerSlam. I mean, they keep saying, oh, this will be the final match to end it, blah blah blah, but it never seems to happen. I do think that this feud has really been lacking, and this should be more of a big deal. This should be more happening, and there's not. So I have nothing really else to say, but hopefully it'll be a good match. Maybe we'll get more awesomeness from Kevin Owens. Maybe he'll stay on commentary again like last time, because I looked up the results and then it said that he stayed on commentary. I was like, oh yeah, that was there and that was awesome. So maybe we'll get some awesomeness like that. But speaking of Kevin Owens, he on that draft center thing, I've got a little rant about that. We'll speak about that later. But he had a funny little, not so much a promo, but just him being him. And he was like going sort of nuts about being such a late draft pick, and he was going sort of nuts at Renee. It was good. It was some good stuff. Just Kevin Owens being Kevin Owens, you know, gold, pure gold. Whenever he's on commentary or a backstage fallout thing, you know, where what's being said is coming from him and not from someone else, gold. And the same goes for a lot of people actually. When it's not been scripted word for word by some ferret, it's some good shiz. Anyways, moving on, we have John Cena, Enzo Amore, and Big Cass versus the Club, six-man tag team. The build to this it's been okay. It's not been amazing, but it's been alright. Well, AJ Styles is now on SmackDown, same as Cena, and then Club and that's on Raw, same with Cass and that they're on Raw. So looks like maybe Cena and Styles feud will continue. Maybe they'll have a match at SummerSlam. But I think Enzo and Cass Enzo had their best promo this past week on Raw. He was coming out with just some absolutely, it was just so random and hilarious, the stuff Enzo was coming out with. Most of the time I'm usually sick of Enzo, but I thought he was really good on Raw. I thought he was really funny. And Cass is just, I don't think Cass even really said anything. But whenever he does, he usually just sounds like a robot. Just his delivery is so like monotonous. It doesn't really sound convincing. But I did enjoy the one on Raw. But I like the whole beat up John Cena thing from AJ Styles and that. Apart from that, there's not really much to say. It's been okay, but nothing special. I didn't really get how Cena was like. I looked up. He was like at the other side of the country, and he flies to Raw just for like a minute segment to come in and beat up AJ Styles, and that was like last week or something. I was like, you really did that? You've made him fly the entire country just for that? It was such a shitty little segment, to be honest. Like Enzo and Cass were getting beat up, then all of a sudden Cena comes out, and now they can fight back. It just seemed like a pretty shitty segment to me. Anyways, I don't know. I think we're better for the Club to win, but I don't know. I'm going with the Club, but I don't know. I don't know. Moving on, Becky Lynch versus Natalya. Not really much to say about this one again, except they came out. Natalya's beat up Becky Lynch when she's made her entrance. Becky's beat up Natalya. That's about the gist of it, really. There's not really much more that's happened. That's really been it. They really should have done more to build to this. It looks like it's going to continue because they're both on SmackDown. I don't know what to say about it because there's not really been much happening. And Natalya's awful at commentary. Like, she's been on commentary a couple of times. Just no, please keep her off commentary. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I'm gonna go with Natalya to win. I think it would probably make sense for her to win since she sort of turned heel or what have you. And then maybe Becky will win at SummerSlam. I don't know, but I don't really know what to say about it. There hasn't really been much to interest you in seeing this match, to be honest. They've just sort of beat each other up a couple of times. Yeah, Natalya for the win. Next, we have The Miz versus Darren Young for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, I really liked how Darren Young won that Battle Royal. I thought that was really cool, and I was surprised at the crowd reaction. And it was surprisingly a good crowd, and they were chanting for him. And the crowd has been surprisingly positive towards it. I don't know what they were chanting on SmackDown. They were chanting something during his tag match with Ryder. I don't know what it was. I don't know if they were chanting "Let's Go Darren" or something, but I couldn't really make it out. Online, people don't seem to be too happy with it. They don't think he's good, like on Twitter or YouTube comments or what have you. But I like him. I think he's doing all right. I like the whole Darren Young Bob Backlund thing. Some of the promo things that they did, but like the vignettes or whatever, were a little bit shitty. Some of them were okay. But I like it, and you never know. I want to see Darren Young win. I'd like to see him win. They haven't really done much with Miz since he came back. Like, 'cause he was on a roll before he left for that movie. He was doing great. I thought he was awesome. Pun intended. But since he came back, they haven't really done much. I thought like the Intercontinental was doing really well. It seemed like it meant a lot, and they haven't really continued that since he returned. I'd like to see Darren Young win. You never know. Darren Young could win. Zack Ryder could win. That would mean the title's switching. But for some reason, pardon me, I don't see Zack winning. So I don't know if Darren Young would win either. I doubt they'd have both titles in the same show. I don't know. I'm going with Darren Young, but I don't think I see the titles switching because I don't see Zack winning. So I don't know. We'll go with Darren Young, but I don't know for sure. Next we have Rusev versus Zack Ryder for the US title. Build to this has been, I don't know. It's been okay, I guess. Nothing special. Zack's got a new song, and that's really about the main thing to take from this build. Honestly, though, Zack, he beat Sheamus a couple times, and then Sheamus beat him. Like, people complain, oh, Zack, he's beat Sheamus, a world champion, blah blah blah. Sheamus is a jobber. Then Sheamus beats him. Oh, way to go, 50-50 booking, blah 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 blah. You can't please some of these assholes. Like, you just, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it, but it annoys me when people say that. You know, the WWE tries to do something, and they're doing it, and then they complain either way. No matter what happens, people will complain. I didn't see a problem with it, but what can you do? I'm going with Rusev to win. I think he win. Like I said before, I don't see the titles switching, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what goes down here, who wins and what have you, but I'll go with Rusev. I like Zack, but I just don't see him beating Rusev. He has gotten a quick roll-ups on him in tag matches or what have you, but I don't know. We'll see. It'd be interesting to see what goes down there. Next, we have the New Day versus the Wyatt Family Six-Man Tag match. They had that awful compound fight thing, which was supposed to be their version of the Final Deletion, which was nothing like the Final Deletion, nothing near the quality of the Final Deletion. Like, you couldn't even see what was happening most of the time, to be honest. They had some stupid filter thing on it. It was hard to see what was even happening. Most of what was going down, you couldn't really see it. But the build, I actually kind of like the build with like Xavier being sort of like mesmerized or what have you by Bray, or hypnotized by him. I think it's been alright. It'd be interesting to see if they're actually gonna. Oh well, the New Day's on bloody Raw, so the feud isn't going to continue. I was hoping to maybe see if Xavier would like get possessed into joining the family or something, but Braun's on Raw and Rowan and Wyatt's on SmackDown, so they're splitting up the family thing again. But you never know. Luke Harper could come back and join Bray in that, or there could be trades and stuff. I don't know. That's something else that could happen with the draft, but I think it'd be good to have the Wyatt family win. Just let them win, for fuck's sake. The booking for the Wyatt family ever since they debuted has been odd and not continuous. They really should be a more bigger deal now than what they are. So I'm going with the Wyatt family to win, but I do like the New Day, and they're going to beat the longest title reign, which I thought they would. So I'm guessing they'll lose the titles at SummerSlam. Which would be a year after they won them, which would be a good time to end it, I think. Likely to like an Enzo and Cass or somebody, I don't know. And speaking of the New Day, they're actually getting real Booty-O's cereal. I just hope this stuff comes to the UK because I need it in my life. Apparently it's like $12 or something, which seems a bit pricey for cereal. I don't know what that would work out to in pounds. We'll just do a quick thing here. $12 in pounds. See how much that is. Holy shit, £9 for a thing of cereal. That is quite pricey. But they are releasing it, or it's available for pre-order or something right now. They announced it last night at like San Diego Comic Con or something. So I hope that comes to UK. I'd get one box. I don't know if I could buy a lot of it if that was the price of it. That's quite a lot of money for cereal. But moving on, the final match we have Sasha Banks and a partner of her choosing versus Charlotte and Dana Brooke. No, I think the build has been alright. You know, Sasha's beat Dana Brooke a couple of times, and they've had like handicap matches, and I think it's actually been okay match-wise. I think it's been okay. You know, I think it's been good, and Sasha and Charlotte have had some promos and that. I think it's been okay. I think it's probably been one of the better matches it's been built to. Now, a lot of people are saying that Nikki might be the partner, and I hope not, because I'm not a fan of Nikki. If she has a great match, I'll say she has a great match or what have you, but I just personally don't really like her. I hope that doesn't happen. She's been cleared or something for wrestling, or she's gotten good news from the doctor, so I don't know. I really wouldn't like it to be her. It would be kind of disappointing, but if it happens, it happens. What can I do about it? A lot of people think it'll be Bayley. That's what I'm guessing. I think it'll be Bayley. A lot of people are like going nuts that she wasn't announced in the draft or what have you. But I think it would be better as a surprise here. I think that'd be good. The only thing is, I don't know if she would go to Raw or should we go to SmackDown. I don't know. The whole draft thing's been a little bit weird. The whole rosters, the way they've split them up is a little bit odd at places. But for this, I think it would make sense for Sasha to win, whoever she goes. Other people are saying it might be Paige. But whoever her partner is, I'm thinking Sasha will win, and then Sasha versus Charlotte SummerSlam, and hopefully Sasha wins. If Charlotte would to win there, like I don't even know what the fuck WWE would be smoking if they went with that. That'd be a dumb decision. Charlotte should have lost the title a long ass time ago, but I've said that many times now. We don't need to get into that whole thing. So Sasha and whoever to win. Now, for the draft stuff to talk about, I try to get through that as quick as possible. 70 minutes, not bad, but I think we're gonna probably be a minute at this stuff. We have right, the new commentary teams is gonna be for Raw. It's gonna be Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton. I was kind of surprised to see Corey Graves go to Raw so soon. I mean, he's on the pre-show. Like some people don't like watch the pre-shows and think it's stupid or what have you, but honestly, it's good. Corey Graves is really good at it. Booker T is good at it. David Otunga was good at it when he was on it. I like Corey Graves and Otunga, and Scott Stanford was it for like a year or so, and they were really good at it. Corey Graves and Otunga would always have these like opinionated battles or whatever. And I think they were really good at it. I just think they were good at it. I think they did a good job. And I'm guessing there'll be a SmackDown one now as well. But they're going to be the Raw team, so that's good. No JBL. But SmackDown is now Morrow, JBL, and Otunga. So I mean, the one good thing to take from that is 1 hour less of JBL and his references to the 1800s. And the sad thing is, I'm not really exaggerating that much when I say the 1800s. Look up some of the shit he comes up with. It's some really outdated crap. But I think Cole, Graves, and Saxton will work well. I do like Graves and Saxton work well when they're on the pre-shows or on NXT. So I think that'll be good. I thought Graves was going to go with like Morrow on SmackDown, but I'm not against it. I think they would have worked well as well. Morrow, Graves, and Otunga. I thought that would have worked well because Graves and Otunga worked well in the pre-shows. So I think they would have worked well together. But I think I'm interested to see how that goes down. And also apparently King and Booker T will be now on the pre-shows. So some people I'm quite sad about that because King was really, I think he was doing well as the heel commentator. So I was when that happened, I was kind of sad, you know, because I think he's been doing really well. But some people are saying he might go NXT now because apparently they're worried about him having a heart attack on TV again or something. So I was like, oh, okay, because Graves will be doing Raw now, and he's also going to be doing WWE Superstars, which is taped before Raw. So maybe he won't have time for NXT now. I don't know. So maybe King to NXT. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Um, are they gonna go? And the next thing I've got to talk about: are they gonna have new women's and tag titles, or are they gonna like have 1 month the titles? The title holders will be on Raw, and then next month they go to SmackDown and what have you, and they could have like a number one contenders thing while the champion's not there. I don't know. I think it may be better to just get new titles for both shows, but I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna go about it. So I'm interested to see what'll happen there. Like SmackDown's kind of odd. Like they've brought up all these women, and majority of them are heel. Like Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, Natalia, all heel. Even Marie's even there, all heel. And then they've got Carmella and Becky Lynch, and that's it for the faces. Oh, Naomi's on SmackDown too, I think. So that's a whole lot of heels and not a lot of faces. So what, is Becky gonna just lose to all these people? I don't know. I don't know what's gonna go down there. Now the next thing, which I think is a right load of shit, is this draft center thing. Now I only watched this, or watched most of it, because of being on holiday this week and next week. They had a thing. This draft center thing aired at the exact same time as SmackDown. And when I first heard of it, I thought they're not honestly going to do this. It's maybe just going to be during the breaks, like the WWE app thing a year or so ago. But no, this thing aired from start to finish, exact same time as SmackDown. Like, how is someone supposed to watch SmackDown and this and take both of it in? Like, it's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. And I had it on. Like, I watched the interviews and stuff and the sort of important stuff, and I just had it on in the background while I was looking at other things. After I watched SmackDown, and they couldn't even, like, it looked as though they just had some tiny ass screen to see what was happening, and they could barely see what was happening. Like, how are these guys supposed to react to something they're not really seeing? You know? I thought that was a right load of shit. Like, the post show, okay, I can understand now. They can talk about it, or if it was just during the breaks. But they did it. I just thought that was so dumb. Like, I just don't think that's how is somebody supposed to take in SmackDown and take in this, and how are they supposed to take in something they can't even really see? I don't agree with that at all. I think that's stupid, and they shouldn't do that again. And another thing, I thought we were getting like the return of like an apt style thing. For the first match on SmackDown, the match continued during the break, not in the UK, only in America. I watched it online. I seen it online to see what the hell happened, where they had the ads, but then in a little screen in the corner, they still had the match going on. So hopefully that doesn't continue. We don't need to see shit like that. I mean, I think it's a good idea. I think it's cool, but you know, the less shit I have to watch, the better. I just, you know, it just doesn't really need to happen. I do think it's good, you know, like for the advertisers or whatever. I think it's good for them, you know, because people will watch and they'll see these adverts happening. But I don't think it's necessary, you know. Another thing, I've got a few things here to talk about. Is Eric Rowan posted this video on Twitter, this really weird, like creepy video, and it's actually quite cool, and you're like, oh wow, that's you know, if since he's sort of broken up with the Wyatt family or what have you, or he's still on SmackDown, and so is Bray, but like that would be a really cool thing, but it won't come to nothing. It won't be booked as a dominant beast or what have you. Like it was a thing of him like holding somebody, and there was like, I think they were like wrapped up. I just thought it was really cool, and I was like, yeah, that's great and everything, but they're not gonna do anything with him. So, you know, it was a really cool video, really well done, but they're not actually gonna push him and use him well and treat him as this monster. So it's like, what's the point, you know? We've seen it before with where they broke up the Wyatt family. They didn't use them well. So, and he's posted cool little videos like that before over the years, but it leads to nothing. So, you know, what's the point? Next, the Cruiserweights is coming back, and it's going to be exclusively at Raw. Apparently, they've signed a few guys from the Cruiserweight Classic thing, and and the championship might return or something. Like there's rumors is that the final for this classic thing might be for the title, and then the title would go to Raw, obviously, because that's where it's going to be exclusively at. But it really seems like they're trying to put over that Raw is the superior brand, like, and it also, like, the way Stephanie and Shayna were, like, when they were on promos and what have you, it seems like they're, like, legit trying to, like, trip each other up, and Stephanie is like really trying to put over that Raw is the superior thing, the superior brand. Like, it really seems like they're trying to, like, it seems like Stephanie are always trying to, especially Stephanie, is trying to trip each other up and make each other look bad. I don't know if there's any real, like, if is Stephanie and Shane, like, do they have, like, some legit control, like, legit, or is it still Vince with the final say and everything? Because it really does seem like Stephanie was trying to put over that Raw is the superior thing, and even with the whole draft thing, how Raw gets more draft picks because of the extra hour, and it just I don't know if there is if they do actually have some control or what have you. So I don't know. Nothing like that's came out on the wrestling sites or what have you. But it really seemed like Raw got the better end of the roster picks, in my opinion. And speaking of that, it seemed odd that you'd put Kalisto to SmackDown when the whole Cruiserweight thing is on Raw. Kalisto could be a top guy for the Cruiserweight thing, but okay. Next, on that draft center thing, Cesaro got interviewed, and this is one of these interviews where it's like legit coming from them. It's not been scripted by some ferret. And Cesaro had this interview, and he was really, like, pissed off about, like, the whole Raw GM thing, and how it's more about, like, Stephanie and Mick Foley instead of it being about like the wrestlers. And I agree, you know, it's there should be less of a focus on, like, the GMs and whatever the hell they're up to, and more on the wrestlers. Like, he wanted to go to SmackDown with, like, Daniel Bryan and Shane, but it seemed like he was legitimately pissed, and he was talking about how he can actually cut a promo, and he says sometimes he might stumble over his words, but he's because he speaks, like, 5 languages and English isn't his first language. It was a really good promo. It's on WWE's YouTube. You can check it out. But he really did seem pissed about being on Raw, and understandably so. He made some good points. And also Sheamus had a thing there, and he wasn't happy with, like, the last 6 months, and he wants to get back to being, like, a champion. It just seemed like a lot of these guys were, like, pissed off with the way they've been booked lately. And another one was Alberto Del Rio. He just didn't even care. Like, he got interviewed, and he just didn't really care. He was just like. He was like, it doesn't matter or something. That's what he said. Like, he was asked about having new matches or something to face, and he's like, I don't care. I didn't even really say much. He just didn't care. That's all the things I took note of. But the draft, I thought it was okay. A lot of people thought it was, like, shit or disappointing. I thought it was okay. I don't think it was amazing, but I thought it was alright. Another thing. Apparently Lesnar was supposed to be, like, the number 1 pick, which I thought was kind of stupid, to be honest. Why would you have him the first pick when he's not even there? But apparently it was because of his win at UFC. But now he's like getting this, like, violation thing for drug usage or some shit, so they put him back a bit. I think it was good that Seth was number 1 and Dean was number 2. I thought that was good. Good picks, and Finn, he was number 5. That seemed like a big deal, and he's going to Raw. And also, they're not gonna. Apparently, Lesnar isn't even gonna appear in the build-up to this match, as of right now. Like, and there isn't really gonna be much to build this match. Apparently, Paul Heyman's contract has been cut or something, or it's over. So they're just not going to build to this match at all, and it's just going to be a match. So what's the point of this Brock Lesnar Randy Orton match? I don't get it. I don't see the point of this match. It just seems stupid. Just taking away time from people who are there all the time, and these part-timers are going to come in and take up a match, and they're not even going to build to the match. It seems kind of stupid to me. And they're both on separate brands, Orton and Lesnar. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going to happen there. Speaking of that, there's the highlight reel thing with Orton and Jericho. Likely will just end in Orton RKO and Jericho. Jericho's been awesome lately. I love the whole gift of Jericho. He's been great. Him and Kevin Owens. I'd like to see him and Kevin Owens as a tag team. I think they work well together. And something I've liked about SmackDown the last few weeks, they at the beginning of the show they have this like earlier today thing, and then they like have a little video package with all the like people that are going to be wrestling tonight, and they all say a little thing. I think that's a really cool thing. I think that's really good. SmackDown before the draft, I thought the last few weeks have been kind of good. I think it's been alright, and that specifically I think is a really cool thing. So it'll be interesting to see if how different the shows will be now, because they're supposed to be like separate creative teams and what have you. Whether that shit's true, I don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see. Some people are saying about that there'll be like trades, or the draft isn't like properly over. There'll still be like other people get signed. Apparently, bloody Kurt Hawkins and Rhino are supposed to go to SmackDown. So that's kind of random. When I seen that, I was like, okay, that's weird. And apparently MVP and Shelton Benjamin were supposed to come back, according to Teddy Long. So I don't know. There's still a lot more to happen, I think, with the draft. I do think there'll be more people come in. Apparently there'll be more people from the Cruiserweight Classic to build up the Cruiserweight division. People are like complaining that, oh, there's only like a few people, but it's not like we're gonna get like 10 matches a week on Raw just for the Cruiserweight thing. You know, so they don't need a lot of people. Like, yeah, the roster seems kinda like there's not a lot, but you don't get a lot of matches on Raw and SmackDown each week. Like SmackDown, what is it, like maybe 5-6 matches at most, and Raw maybe 9. Like when I watch Raw and then I like see the thing on WWE and it shows you how much matches or what have you there is, and I'm like, is that really 3 hours of content? It doesn't seem like, when you look at it, and I was like, wow, that really lasted the entire 3 hours. It doesn't seem like they're getting a lot done in that 3 hours, to be honest. And they rush a lot of these matches, you know, and I'm just like, is that really all that happened? It doesn't seem like a lot, especially when you look at SmackDown. I'm like, is that really all happened? It's weird. It's weird how stuff like that happens. But I don't think there's much more to talk about. I could probably talk about a lot of other shit, like Lucha Underground. Like I just seen the finale of it. It was good yesterday, but I don't think I've got anything else to talk about. I've yapped here for quite a bit of time. So feel free to tell me your predictions for Battleground and the future with the whole draft and what have you. It'll be interesting to see what goes down. And I like being off this week and next week. I've been able to watch SmackDown and Raw and not knowing anything that happens. That's pretty good. Although I can usually predict what's going to happen some of the times with most stuff, but it is good to watch something and not know anything that happens. It is a pretty cool thing. That's why I like to stay up for the pay-per-views, because I like to watch and not know what's going to happen. Even though you can kind of predict things, it's still nice to watch something and not know what's happened. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching my predictions video. Hope you've enjoyed my 33 minutes of rambling. And I'll look a bit different in my review. I'm going to be cutting my hair and my beard tomorrow. I'm getting sick of my hair, especially around here. It just looks weird. Look at it. It looks so stupid, especially with my headset on all day. It looks so bloody weird in the back. It was like sticking out. Like I had a shower yesterday and my hair was just up and out and at the back. I was like, oh my god, it looks so weird. So I'm gonna cut that tomorrow, get rid of it all, and trim up the beard or something and do something with it. But yeah, I don't think you want to know about my hair growing habits, do you? I don't know, maybe you do. But it's weird. I also haven't. This few days have been quite hectic with wrestling, especially like Tuesday, Wednesday, and not so much yesterday. I mean, it was 2 hours of Lucha Underground and then 2 hours NXT Cruiserweight Classic. But SmackDown that day was kind of wild because there was loads to watch then, and there was Raw. But I haven't really had much time to do gaming. Like I recorded on Sunday. I finished Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and I started Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. That'll be happening I don't know when that'll go up. Probably be about a month or so from now. I mean, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 hasn't even went up yet, so I've got all of it recorded and done. I did multiplayer, and I started Red Dead Redemption on Sunday night, and then I played for like, I think it was like 3 hours 40 minutes on Monday. But I haven't had a chance to play anything since then. Like last night, I was an idiot and I got onto this bloody pool game. Like WWE tweeted something out about doing this 8-ball pool tournament thing, and I was like, oh, what's this? And I looked onto it, but they haven't actually announced anything, or there's not anything on the site about the WWE related stuff. But I ended up playing this bloody pool game for like 2 hours. It was like bloody 2 in the morning before I finished bloody playing it, and then I wasn't sleeping until almost 4. I just ended up playing that last night for ages, so I'm up a bit later today. I did set my alarm for 11. I didn't really get up till about 11:30. It's now like 2:10. The last few days I was getting up at like 9:30 just because there was so much wrestling. I was like, I don't want to waste the day, you know. I'll get up earlier, get it all watched. But that's it. I've yapped too much, so thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you for my review Monday morning for me, or late Sunday night for you, early Monday morning for yous Americanos. That's it. Bye bye. I'm away to watch main event and the WWE special on Daniel Bryan. They've returned that special thing here in the UK. They didn't have it last month, but now they've got it again, where they air like a part of like a DVD. It's the Daniel Bryan one leading up to his WrestleMania 30 match. It's my way to watch that. And I'll have WWE Superstars. I think I'm gonna watch it later tonight. If not, then I'll do it tomorrow. But I think I will do it tonight. Just get out of the way. Then my weekend will be clear, and I'll be able to record some stiffs. So yes. I'm gonna end this video now. It's been on too long. Bye, people.